Hello, lovely people of the internet. I am Dameon Geppetto, and I've got an amazing deck for you today. This is an Abzan self-wipe deck. What is that? That is white, green, and black. Nobody else is doing the craziness that I'm doing over here. That's right. That's why you tune into this channel, because I'm nuts, and I got great ideas. And this deck is not only fun to play, but it's a winning deck. So if you want to try something a little different, and maybe have your opponent scratching their head about what you're doing, watch this video. If you want to see more madness from me, why don't you check out my last video about the Deserts deck, where we use the crime lands to beat our opponent with triggers as well. I'm doing different things. What can I say? I'm just not cut of the ordinary arena cloth. This is a standard deck like all my decks. So here we go. Let's hit that intro and we'll break that deck down for you. All right. This deck is a self-wipe deck. So we will start out at the 1 slot here, and we've got the final showdown. I only have one of these, but this is a great card, and this is a 6 mana instant sweeper, so you can wipe the board for 6 mana on your opponent's turn after they drop down a few more creatures. 1 slot also has Lunarch Veterans. This gets us some life. It's also a creature that is sacrificable because it comes back, and it's a human. The key is humans in this deck, and you will see shortly why we want humans in this deck. Greedy Freebooter is the other 1 slot because this is a 1 mana 1/1 that when it dies, you scry 1 and create a treasure token. The combination of those two for 1 mana when it dies is great. This is a great sacrifice opportunity for our individual removal spell here, the Rite of Oblivion, which is only a sorcery, but it comes back from the graveyard for 4 mana as well, and you sacrifice a non-land permanent, exile target non-land permanent. So you can sacrifice the Freebooter once, and then if you have 4 mana the next turn, you sacrifice the treasure that the Freebooter made the next turn and get rid of another permanent Coppercoat Vanguard, because this is a humans deck. So there's 4 of those. Each other human gets +1/+0 and has ward 1. The ward 1 is key. 3 Mosswood Dread Knights because this is a human and it can draw you a card, and it also comes back from the graveyard, and we are wiping the board of our own creatures over and over in games in this deck. So this is great. You wipe the board, you bring this back the next turn, draw a card with it, and then put it back out if you have the mana. Got 2 wedding announcements here. At the time of the recording of this video, there was 3 wedding announcements and 2 depopulates. I constantly am going back and forth between 3 wedding announcements and 2 depopulates, and 3 depopulates and 2 wedding announcements. This is the big tinkering I do in the deck. Autoline, there is 2 Autolines. Once again, human that creates humans. Jaren, this is not a card most people play with. Corrupted Bishops, a human cleric. It's a 2/3 for 3 mana that creates a 1/1. It also does 1 damage to you. Anytime another non-token creature dies, it also creates a 1/1 human. Now, if you got the Lunarch Veteran out there, that -1 to create the human doesn't matter. But the key with Jaren here is it's a lifelink thing. For 2 mana, target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn. This has saved me time and time again. Flipping Jaren is almost impossible. I've only done it once in hundreds of games, because at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 6 mana and transform him into a 6/6 flying trample lifelink demon. Yeah, if you could flip him, game's over. You win. 1 Path of Peril, because not only does this wipe the board, but you can wipe just the lower mana creatures, keep out your Autoline, Jaren, and oh, by the way, the key of the deck is the Vein Ripper. This is the only non-human in the deck. Yes, we are filling the board with a bunch of humans, and we wipe it to get the Vein Ripper triggers. That's why there's 3 to populate, 1 Path of Peril, 1 Final Showdown, and 2 Deadly Cover-Ups. You see that right. There are 6 wipes in this deck, not to mention the individual removals. But the key to the deck is this card that nobody else is playing. It's called Laid to Rest. It is a green enchantment for 4 mana. Whenever a human you control dies, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you gain 2 life. We don't have counters in the deck, so that doesn't really get used, but we're wiping the board. So we have 6 humans on the board. We wipe the board, 6 card draw. We throw a human out. This is on the board. Our opponent removes our human. We draw a card. It just keeps you in great cycle through your deck. Like I said, we got 2 Deadly Cover-Ups for additional wipes, so there's 4 different types of wipes to make sure that we draw wipes in the game. And the Vein Ripper is the key to the win con. You throw the Vein Ripper out. You've got enough cards out there to get the win. Self-wipe the board, trigger, all those -2 lives, win the game. You will see that in the gameplay action that I have for you from the other night. This deck is amazing, and you know what? It tricks your opponents. They just don't see it coming. We've got the usual cohorts of lands. As you can see, got 2 Mirax, 1 Field of Ruin, and a couple Cavern of Souls, which you would always put these out with human, unless it's late game and you need to get the Vein Ripper out and you are against a counterspell deck. If you want to make this deck have your own staple, I would say the Greedy Freebooter Tutor is one of the cards that you could take out for something else to put your own stamp on this deck. It's the only card in the deck that is not necessary to make this work. If you don't know, I'm on twitch.tv/Dameon Geppetto, where I do live streams every single night or morning if you're on the European continent, or afternoon if you're in Australia. So go check me out there. Every stream, I try to go for a win streak at the end, and I say, Nick's loss, we end the stream, and this was an amazing one with this deck. Thank you again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and throw a comment down there for the algorithm love. I appreciate all you puppets out there, and let's get to the gameplay. I'm so happy that they put the man lands back in. That's what this game was missing for so long. They got rid of man lands and then they went extra turns with All Runes Epiphany, and it was like, why? I'd rather have man lands than All Runes Epiphany. And then they banned All Runes and I was like, yay! And then they brought back extra turns this set. It's like, why do you keep bringing extra turns into the game? It's such a broken mechanic. All right, we'll take that. Deepy. Deep, deep, deep. Going deep. Going deep. Wayfinder going deep. %. All right. They're having more fun than me. They're like, if you people don't know, Mojo is a streamer himself, another master brewer. He makes lots of combo cycle decks. Thank you for the card draw. Much love. Oh no! Oh, it's not World Souls? Okay, it's just big creatures in the graveyard. Okay, interesting. Snowy and flooding with a 18 land deck. As in like actual snow? In the southern hemisphere, huh? Alright, what do we go with here? Draw. Oh, Kenny trying to show off his... Switzerland, okay, okay. Oh, you guys, you're just up in the mountains. Crazy. Awesome. I've never been to Switzerland. I've never been to Europe, let's be honest. I spent my time in Australia and Asia and Mexico and the Caribbean and Canada. South America, Africa, and Europe are the only places of the world I want to get to still. Oh, it's a whole bunch of lands? Jesus. You want to go to Australia? Australia's cool. It's spread out, man. It's really spread out. You don't realize how spread out Australia is because the maps make it look like it's smaller than it is, but man, it's like as big as the US. Australia is like as big as the US, but there's not like little shitty towns in between every big town. It's just like big towns and there's like a gas station maybe if you're lucky in between the towns. Australia is amazing though. I loved Australia. I don't think we want to get rid of, we got to save for the Titan, so let's get another copper boot. Copper coat. Let's get our Vanguard out there. And let's get the Dread Knight out. The flight from Japan to Sydney takes 10 hours. It's insane. Yeah. You should have seen the flight from Los Angeles to Sydney. I think it was longer than that. I think it was 12, 13 hours, something like that. I just went through it. Actually, it was Gold Coast, technically, not Brisbane. I was in Sydney, Melbourne, Cairns, and Gold Coast. And I had a layover in, what's that one up north? If you look at the map, you may think it's not that far, but it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. I took the red eye and just went to sleep. You'd love to go to Melbourne for the F1 race. I went and I saw the Australian Open. I went to the Australian Open because I'm a tennis guy. It was awesome. I watched Serena Williams absolutely demolish somebody in the first round. I went the whole day and I watched a whole bunch of matches. It's awesome. Melbourne's awesome. What are you talking about? Melbourne's awesome city. Sydney's the shithole. The east coast of Australia is where it's at though. Yeah, that's where you want to be. I loved it there. Let's get rid of you. Actually, no, we'll sack you because you get us a scry and a treasure. The further north you go in Australia, the more relaxed people are. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Cairns was amazing. I loved it up in Cairns. Oh, it was fucking awesome. Yeah. Take one of the copper coats out. Go for it. Go ahead and wipe. Give us a bunch of card draw. Oh, or just die. Okay. If you think that's funny, oh my god. Should try French. French was tough. When I... Oh, I hit the wrong one. That was a mistake. Oopsies. I wanted to mulligan that. Notice I didn't mention the Aussies, because you're right. I had a lot of Australian friends. They loved me because they were like, oh, you're the American who doesn't give a fuck like us. Ah, awesome. Oh, you're not pretentious like the English. Fuck yeah. I'd go to your bar, but it's still 11 a.m. I don't have it anymore. Like all good things, it had its time and it's gone. Look at this pile over here. 250 Carter again. Holy shit. They came in and ate. They loved my, what was it? She loved my chicken salad with honey mustard dressing on it, and then he loved my Cuban sandwich with black beans, because I had Cuban black beans. It was a Cuban themed bar, not because I'm Cuban or anything, but what do we get rid of here? Mirex and the veteran. The person before me spent a shit ton of money redesigning it. Like they put like $30,000-$40,000 into it and themed it up as a Cuban restaurant. Totally redid the whole thing. It looked nice. And so I just was like, it, I'm going with the Cuban theme because I'm not going to put any money into the bar. I don't have to. They put all the money into it. Well, I guess, and I was a chef, so I was like, I guess I got to learn some Cuban recipes, you know? Cuban sandwich, and I did like tacos and shit like that. To be fair, I fucking love food, maybe a little too much. Well, that's all right. I still have the recipes. I had a Cobb salad, chicken salad, like I said, with honey mustard dressing, all original dressings that I made from scratch. I had the Cuban sandwich, burgers, fries. I made the fries from scratch. Everything was from scratch. And what other stuff? Tacos, burritos, and then bar food like wings and things like that. All right, we got enough mana, so let's do that. Awesome, Kenny. I made my black beans Cuban style, and I made them from scratch. So it took like 5-6 hours, I think, to cook the black beans. And then I had rice, of course, because it's an Asian restaurant. Then I ended up adding in some Asian stuff. I tried to do poutine I tried to do like gravy for a while because the English liked it, but nobody really bought it. I had poutine when I was in New England. It was all right. I didn't think it was anything game-breaking. It was good, but it's just like, yeah, if you want to have a heart attack, do this. Total American-style thing to do. Total, like, stick-to-your-gut winter food. I get it. Canada's cold. It's cold in New England, too, but nothing like Canada. But yeah, I still have all my recipes. I gotta write them down. Well, I get them written down. I gotta put them online. It's one of the things I wanted to do on my Substack, was put my recipes up. All original shit. Oh, I had pulled pork. Because I did the Cuban sandwich, I would slow cook the pork shoulder myself. That took like 3.5-4 hours to cook. Because it's Cambodia, we didn't have smoker or anything like that. With a bunch of seasonings and stuff. And then, because there was all those pulled pork for the Cuban sandwiches, I made pulled pork sandwiches as well. So I had my own barbecue sauce. As a chef, you cook up something big like a 9-10 pound pork shoulder. You got to have multiple items for that pork shoulder to make it work. Oh, sorry. Did I just beat you? This deck is working now. I guess we keep it. Not the best, not the worst. Of course. Should have known land would be good. Your dream is to open a Korean beef grill restaurant after my retirement. Oh, that's an awesome dream. I like that dream. It's a good realistic dream to have. We did pulled pork was popular. Yeah, everybody loves pulled pork. Oh, sorry. Alright, we'll take the Vein Ripper. I'll show you the deck after this. It's a Abzan wipe deck, self-wipe deck. Nobody else is doing this. Laid to rest a bunch of humans and a bunch of wipes. Ooh, we got real mono black rats. Okay. You going off, my friend. Alright, get the cottage out. We gotta end the turn. This is gonna suck. We're gonna take so much damage. What does that thing do? Why did they not attack? I'm confused. No, we don't need a land. Get you out. I'll show you the deck after this game. I'll break it down for you if you want. Why wouldn't you? They have a pump of some sort. Another Lord Skitter. Oopsies, put it in your hand. There you go. Alright. Dreadfast Demon. Oh, shit. Well, we definitely are wiping before we get the Vein Ripper out. That's for sure. You did in the oven, slathered in Dijon mustard, a secret rub, and then was cooked on the outside. We put Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on it, cooked for like 5 seconds. So what I did is I cooked the pork Cuban style for a Cuban sandwich. I just cooked it Cuban style, and then I just made the barbecue sauce. And then if somebody ordered the pulled pork, I just heated it up in the skillet with the barbecue sauce. Let's do it. Breakfast Demon. What'd they get? Caustic Bronco. Yeah, they're hitting. They're definitely hitting. Let's get our Ripper out now. Okay, so we got to go. If we draw a land that doesn't get tapped... Oh, no! What do they got? Oh, they hit me for 5! Oh, that hurts. But we'll at least get 4 back. Yeah, instant board wipe is OP. I started with breakfast, but ended up going away from it because it was a bar, so I didn't have anyone there until like lunchtime, late lunchtime. Those Vein Ripper triggers. Oh, it's a killer. It's a killer. We got our laid to rest now. Okay. Laid to rest. Jeren. Okay, we'll take our cards. I didn't have a day off for 6 months, and I worked 16 to 20 hours pretty much every day for 6 months before I finally said, all right, I'm having a day off. And I made my day off. We were closed on Wednesdays because it was just always my slowest day. People always got mad at me. Why aren't you closed on Monday like everybody else? And I'm like, because everybody else is closed Monday. People come in on Monday. That's why. Draw a few cards. They're getting the blood letter out again. They got the rush of dread, I bet. I bet this is instant loss here. Just cheesy combo. Off Morgora. But I was the chef. I was not the cook. I hired a cook, and she was a horrible cook. But I trained her how to be a good cook, and she still has a job at a Mexican restaurant now. After I left. Like, she got a job at the Mexican restaurant when I closed it down. I'm gonna get rid of that. Because she had worked with me for so long. And she was a horrible cook. She was not that good. She did not have natural cooking skills, but I turned her from horrible to okay. You had to stop. Oh, there's no rules in Cambodia. You stay open as long as you want. So like I could have stayed open all night if I wanted. There's no last call. Like you can serve alcohol 24/7. Lots of bars out there do it. Take your card draw. Go ahead. Aww. But he just got out there. That's not cool, man. Oh, they left. What? I think we're gonna have to call it a stream. It's been 5 hours. We're gonna go until we get a loss. The usual routine, folks. Go until we get a loss. We'll keep that. It was a good stream. We played 2 decks. All decks we haven't played the last couple days. This deck is ready to go. The Deserts deck we figured out yesterday. Kenny's deck is even better now. Yeah, we're going. We're going good. It's so hard to flip Jaren, but if you can, like listen to this, listen to the hoops you gotta jump through to flip Jaren. At the beginning of your instep, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 6 mana, and if you do, transform him into a flying trample lifelink 6/6. Sacrifice another creature, draw a card. And he creates creatures, so. It's just like, if you have 13 life, and you have 6 mana sitting up. Another win with the deck. Oh, I love it. I love it. Mully all the day long. We keep that. Get rid of you. Oh, and I want to know. Oh. Vadim! Oh, they're criming it. They're criming it. Slightly above average player is my goal. I'm addicted to the game. I like the community, and do your crime. Do it. I don't know why they did that. Get rid of you. We replace it with another draw. It's my playlist, man. This is my 500-something playlist. Yeah, I think it's the regular one. It's not listed on YouTube, but if you have the link, you can go to it. I always try to keep it a good balance between hip-hop, guitar-type stuff, classic rock, heavier rock stuff, just banging stuff. And there's some electronic music on it too, but not a ton. I love electronic music, but... Okay, bye-bye. Get a couple cards. Ooh, that's a good one. Breach. Oh, okay. Just breaching it. Oh, this is going to hurt. They're going to take my Vein Ripper. Oh, this is going to hurt. And a Shielded. Ouch. All right, do we exile the Vein Ripper or do we just take the... Got 6 and 6. If they have a second multiverse, they have a second multiverse. We can always take it again. All right, we go like this. We'll get rid of our Vein Ripper so they can't take it again. So they'll only have 1. And how about we get rid of the multiverse? Okay. That's the only one they had. Okay. Unlucky, but... Thousand Suns. What a great name. I just noticed that. We got these restless cottages that can go to work if we don't draw like a creature that I want to get out. Or a laid to rest. Or a wedding announcement. That makes sense. Okay. Helping me out here. Alright, make sure there's no land there. That's not land. Okay, so interesting. They're like, I don't like this laid to rest. It's got to get laid to rest. Oh, they're just going to steal my cards. Oh, I take that as a compliment that my deck's better than yours. All right, fair enough. We got some food to eat. If it start hitting us, what do they get? Coppercoat Vanguard. What does that do? Draws a card. They got a couple of them, so they can draw a couple cards. We just wiped too many times for them. What? Why would you take all that damage when you could just give me a card draw as well? Okay. What are you going to do? I know they probably stole a wipe from me. They stole land. Okay. It just did, however you say, Hadaksu Kari. That's a strong card. Flipped it. Oh, that's gonna kill you. They just committed suicide. I love it. Oh, they gave me good game back. I appreciate that. I really do. That was a good battle, Thousand Suns. That was a great battle. I appreciate when people do that.